welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm super excited to be sharing with you one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs. This is a lesson that goes out to my good friend and student Charlie. We have For You Blue by George Harrison. Let's get started. Okay, we have a close look at the guitar. We're getting started with our intro section. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so that started off with a nice little blues lick. Alright, that was just the open E string, then a pull off on the second fret of the D string. Then we're going to the second fret of the A string, and then the open A string. So far we have. Then finally we're going to end that lick by putting our finger back on the second fret of the A string. All in all. Then we're going to strike the A chord, but basically just the bass end of it. Just like that. So my finger is barring across the D, G, and B string, but I'm strumming A string, D string, G string to end that lick. Then after that, we're going to chug along before walking up to our D7 chord. So far we have. Next, we're going to play with our thumb, open E string, first fret E string, second fret E string, walking up to a D7 chord. Now that chord is going to get the same treatment that the A chord received. So far we have. Alright, and then finally we're walking up to a B7 chord and we're going to strum that one out just a bit longer. Before going to an E7 chord. Alright, so that walk up to the B7, we're going open A, first fret, second fret. And strumming through to the chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, now the final section of the intro over the E major chord sounds like this. Alright, there, I'm just striking the low E string. Then I'm hammering down as I strum through the chord. Hammering down with my first finger on the G string. Then the high E string rings through. Then I go back to the low root again. After that, we're going to strum through again as we put our pinky on the B string third fret relative to the capo. And then hit the high E string again. We're going to do that 2 times before jumping into the verse, which is basically just a 12-bar blues. Okay, moving on to our verse section. This is a basic 12-bar blues in the key of D, but thanks to the capo, we're going to be playing it as if it's in the key of A. So the only chords we're going to be needing are A7, barring everything on the D, G, and B string, but also adding my middle finger to the third fret of the high E string. I'll also be needing a D7 chord. Okay, again, I have the second fret G string, first fret B string, third fret high E string, in case there's any beginners out there. And I'll also be needing an E7 chord. Alright, middle finger on the second fret A, third finger below that, my first finger on the first fret of the G string, and for extra flavor, the pinky on the third fret of the B string. Alright, so we have A7, nice and bright. D7, and an E7 chord. Alright, so now let's go over the basic structure. We have the A chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the D7 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the A7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then we're going on to the D7 again. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Before going back to A7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm on to the E7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back to the A. And I like to do a little walk up before throwing in the 5 chord, that E7. Alright, so let's do that same thing now. We're not going to do the rhythm pattern yet, but with a little bit of the singing. Because you're sweet and lovely girl, I love you. 4, 5, 6, 7, decent. 'Cause you're sweet and lovely girl, it's true. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then to the E7, 1. Love you more than D7. E7 chord just at the last minute, kind of with a little hiccup. Alright, and again, we're going to be doing that walk up there. Okay, now that you have the basic chords and also the structure for the 12 bar, we're ready to move into the strumming pattern over each of these chords. Now basically what's happening is a little bit of root and treble separation and also some staccato short strums. Alright, so the way I do this, and I definitely vary it throughout, there are some minute details to make it sound a little bit more hip, but basically what I'm doing is playing the root and strumming through the chord and then following up with a series of fast upstrokes. And by fast I really mean short or staccato strums. And the way I do that is I upstroke and then I remove the pressure. Just like that, by pumping the hand. I can do that same thing over the D chord, and then go back to the A7. Now just then, I did something slightly different. Sometimes I'll as I come back from like the D7 chord, maybe going back into the A7, I might do a strum of the open strings just to kind of help me get there in time. Like that. And then the more you play this pattern, the more you apply it to these different chords, the better you're going to get at throwing in some slight variation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that you've mastered that 12 bar blues with the strumming pattern, you're ready to add in the turnaround. This is an element that's going to help us get back to the beginning of the verse. It's going to sound like this. Coming out of the end. Love you more than ever, girl, I do. Alright, so this is kind of my way of doing it. I'm hitting the open A string twice, though sometimes that might be the chord A. Then the 5th fret of the A string, open D string, 1st fret D, and then the 2nd fret D string. That's followed by an E7 chord, but first I'm going to hit the low strings, then the high strings, and then strum through that E7 chord. And then right back to the beginning of the verse. Alright, with all that complete, you have the entire song down, but some of you might be wondering, how can you put something together for to take the place of the solo section where we have a lot of that slide guitar stuff going on? If you're a singer-songwriter and you want to be able to perform this live, there's something very, very basic and easy that you can do to accomplish that instrumental section. Basically, all you need is the A7 chord and just arpeggiate the thing. I just strum through and then hit the high E string, B string, G string. And I'll do the same thing to the D7 chord. And then go right back to the A7 chord. And I like to throw in some licks from my blues scale in the key of A. Now the way I did that is I played the G string, 2nd fret, then the open G, 2nd fret D string, and then a little hammer on and pull off on the 1st fret of the D string. Then the 3rd fret of the A string, followed by the open D string, and then I do the same arpeggio over D7. So far I have back to the A7. Then we have the E7 chord, the D7, and just keep arpeggiating, and then turn around. Now, every now and then you might also hear me throw in a little bit of shuffling, like Alright, just going back and forth between 2nd fret and 4th fret is the basic blues shuffle, right? Great to replace some of that tricky slide work. You can roll on the 3rd fret to the 4th fret of the A string, strum that A chord, 3, 4, and then back. 2, 2, 4, 4. Really anything can work. For a little bit of that solo section. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on For You Blue. I hope you enjoyed it. I got plenty more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe and please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.